Rab is known to have some of the best down jackets, but are they worth the hype? Let's find out. Hey everyone, my name is Will, and today I'm going to be doing a comprehensive review of basically 5 of Rab's warmest down jackets. They do have several other models out there, some that are more synthetic insulation as well as some thinner models. I decided to go with the models that are thicker, that are going to be more well-rounded and used for colder temperatures in the winter as opposed to fall or spring. I decided to pick up the 5 warmest down jackets that they offer and check them out, compare them, and see which one you guys should buy. Each of these jackets is made for mountaineering or expeditioning, so peak warmth while maintaining a very light and packable jacket. There's 5 of these. It's hard to remember the names, so I'm just going to read them out to you. So basically going from this way, the orange one, all the way to the red one, as well from most expensive to least expensive. So we have the Mythic Ultra down jacket there in the orange. Then we have the Positron Pro jacket. Next we have the Neutrino Pro jacket, followed by the Electron Pro jacket. That one's in the blue with the green interior. And then lastly, the Glaceon Pro jacket, which is going to be the cheapest of the 5 jackets. I'm thinking I'll go through each one individually to start out with, kind of talk you through some of the features and the specs, talk you through how it fits, and then at the end I'm going to do kind of like a general overview and comparison of each one and talk about which one you should get depending on your needs. Okay, so basically starting off with the most expensive one, this is the Mythic Pro jacket. Comes in at $650, so that's gonna be the most expensive one. The least expensive is $420, so you're looking at about a $225 range depending on which jacket you want to buy. In terms of specs, so I got this in a size medium. It weighs 537 grams or basically 18.9 ounces. So extremely light considering how warm it is. So in terms of insulation, it has 240 grams of 900 fill power down. That's extremely high quality down, which is really great to see in comparison to a lot of other jackets out there that I've reviewed. So 900 fill power, 240 grams, that's gonna be extremely warm. And you can tell this is meant as like a belay jacket when you're mountaineering. You're gonna be stopping for a bit, so you throw this over your other layers just to keep you warm while you're not moving. When you're not using it anymore, you'd kind of unpack it, put it back in your bag, and then keep climbing or whatever you're doing. The exterior fabric is made with just a 10D ripstop nylon, so extremely thin. And that's really what this is meant for. It's not meant to be super durable. It's meant to be as light as possible while maintaining as much warmth as you possibly can have. I've found just walking around with this jacket, it's extremely warm. It fits really well and gives you a lot of movement, and it's just an all-around great jacket. In terms of features, they really minimized the amount to keep that weight down. So you just have regular cuffs. There's no Velcro to kind of cinch that in. In comparison, some of the other jackets that I'll talk about do have that Velcro. So just really minimizing weight here. Again, you've got that thin fabric. The stitching is done in a way that maximizes movement through the shoulders and the head while maintaining warmth in the core areas. So they use a different type of stitching to kind of maximize loft and warmth in the main body and the hood, while on the arms kind of having a more, I'm not sure how to explain it, but a different type of stitching that's going to give you more movement and more freedom when you're climbing. In terms of pockets, you've got these 2 standard pockets. There's no lining or fleece lining on the inside, just standard pockets. They're big enough to keep your hands in, kind of when you're warming up your hands, maybe you're climbing, you just throw them in here quickly, warm them up, and then get back to your business. In terms of front pockets, there's a front chest pocket here on the outside, which is on the inside of the down. So really great for keeping your phone warm and insulated. If you're out in the winter, your phone battery can kind of drain. So having a pocket that's on the interior of the down kind of helps keep your phone warm and not lose battery life. And that's basically it in terms of pockets. There's no other interior pockets in here. Nothing on the front, no dump pockets, just minimal, keeping it as light as possible. In terms of the zipper, there is a 2-way zipper on this jacket. Great, so if you have it done up, you can kind of unzip the bottom and mess with your harness or something if you're climbing or whatever, deal with stuff in your pants pockets and then zip it back up without having to lose warmth on the upper body. And then, so in terms of cinch adjusters, we have 2 adjusters on the inside here for adjusting the hood. Basically cinch it in closer to your face. This is a helmet compatible hood, which is great if you're climbing. This can fit over your helmet, supposedly. However, when I do put this on, it does feel small. I don't know if I just have a bigger head than normal, but I don't think there's a lot of room in here for a helmet. I would probably upsize. And I think with all of these jackets, so I went with the size medium. However, normally with the jackets, I'm kind of in between medium and large. So I decided to just go down a size because these you're probably not gonna be wearing like a sweater underneath. So with that, I found it was just really tight for me and I'd probably up a size. The hood's small, as you can see. It's nice. There's a kind of, I don't know, a visor that has like a harder material that you can kind of manipulate. It's a decent size. It's nice and well insulated, but it does feel small. I think if you're wearing a helmet, it might not fit. It depends. I don't do climbing, so maybe the helmets are a bit smaller than I'm thinking. I usually use ski helmets, and those are much bigger and bulkier, so maybe it will fit in here. But for me personally, the helmet's a bit small, or the hood's a bit small. And then you also have adjusters on the bottom hem. You can basically cinch these in and keep the bottom cinched in close to your body. In terms of fit, this does fit really well on me, except for the hood. The hood is small. I'm 6'1", 185 pounds or so right now, and it fits well. The arms are a nice length. The body fits really nice and snug. However, if I was to layer underneath, even a sweater probably wouldn't fit, so I would have to up to a size large. But besides that, it fits really well. It's nice. One thing that I will note, and I'm hoping this picks up on camera, I decided to go with different colors for each jacket just to kind of show you different colors that are out there. With this one, I chose this bright orange, and I don't know if you can see, I'll kind of try to show it maybe on screen, but you can kind of see like black kind of specks and stuff throughout the jacket. And this is something that I've found on most down jackets I've checked out, either from Arc'teryx, Rab, Marmot, other brands. When there's a lighter fabric, you can usually kind of see this like black kind of, almost looks like discoloration. Originally, I thought that was kind of like discoloration of the fabric, but it's actually the just differences in down color inside the jacket. So I don't recommend getting a light color like this unless you're using it purely for climbing and you want to be visible so that other people can see you. Then I recommend going with the light color. Otherwise, definitely go with the darker color, like some of these other ones I have, the dark blue, the green, or the black. That's gonna give you, I think it's gonna look better. And I just personally don't like the look of how the color is coming through the fabric. Okay, I just changed jackets, but one other thing I just noticed on the orange that I forgot to bring up is that it also comes with a packable sack, so you can put the jacket in the sack, kind of cinch it up, keep it tight, and put it back in your bag. So that's a great feature that some of these have and some of these don't. So next, let's go to the Positron Pro jacket. This one comes in at $625, so about $25 cheaper than the other one. Not much of a difference in terms of price. I do think this one is more meant for a city use jacket, kind of compared to the Arc'teryx Thorium, whereas I think that one's really just a technical jacket meant for climbing and mountaineering, not necessarily a city use jacket. I think this one is probably better for city use, but I'll get into that later on in the video. It weighs 753 grams or 26.5 ounces, so substantially heavier than the orange jacket there. And that's mainly coming from the heavier fabric and then a couple other features. It has 300 grams of 800 fill power down, so not the 900 in the other jacket, 800 fill power, but a bit more grams of down. So you're dealing with still a high quality down and a bit more grams of it. At the end of the video, I'll kind of compare which one is actually gonna be warmer, but this one is still a really warm jacket in comparison to many other jackets out there. The face fabric is much thicker, so that's a 20D nylon. They have a sort of branding for the exterior fabric, but either way, it's kind of like a water resistant DWR treated fabric. Much thicker, more durable, so if you're walking around in the trees or just day-to-day city use, less likely to rip compared to that one. In terms of overall impressions, I really like this jacket as well. Fits a bit looser than that one actually, but nothing substantial, especially in the arms. I find there's a bit more room. One of the things, there is the Velcro on these, so you can kind of cinch that up. To be honest, the Velcro feels kind of cheap. I don't know, it doesn't feel that great. I think I prefer just the regular elastic cuffs. I don't think the Velcro adds much to it, and the Velcros aren't really durable. It collects kind of, I don't know, feathers and stuff like that, and it becomes less effective at actually cinching up. In comparison, the Fall Raven jacket, the Expedition Light down jacket I've reviewed in the past you could check out, it uses just buttons. So I actually prefer that because it can actually cinch up and it lasts much longer comparison to Velcro. In terms of pockets, again, you've got the 2 hand pockets. These ones are fleece lined, so they're gonna be a bit more comfortable, a bit more warm on your hands. They're adding a bit more features to this jacket just to really add some comfort and versatility. Lots of room as well. You can really put your hands in here, even with thick mitts, and there'll be plenty of room. With this one as well, you have the chest pocket here, nice and big to fit your phone. It isn't as on the inside of the down as that one. That one was basically completely underneath the down, whereas this one, honestly, I don't think there's any down actually on the outside of this pocket. I still feel all the down on the inside, so I don't think this is gonna keep your phone nearly as insulated as that one. For me, that is an issue. I guess you can put your hands or your phone in the hand pocket and those will keep it warm. But in terms of the chest pocket, it isn't really insulated on the outside. Actually, no, there is another one here. So we have the chest pocket on the right side as well. On the inside, I guess you can use this for your phone. It does feel a bit small. You can kind of fit your phone in there, kind of wiggle it in, I guess. And there is room once it gets in, but I wish the pocket zipper was actually a bit bigger because I don't think my phone will just slide in there super easily. But that is on the inside of the down, so I guess that is a plus. You do get an extra pocket on this one in comparison to that one. Again, you have the 2 cinches on the bottom. These are a bit more bulky and I think more durable probably than the Mythic. So this jacket I think overall is gonna be more durable than the previous one. And that's why I think they're very similar in price. That one was just meant to be as light as possible, and so you're sacrificing some features. This one you're really adding features in. They're roughly the same warmth, but you're getting some more features. It's more of a city use jacket. And again, that's probably why they're around the same price. The front zipper is not insulated on the inside, so you might get some wind cutting through on this jacket. Same with the Mythic there. There's no real, there's like a little kind of cloth piece here, but there's no like thick down in here to really keep that warm. That's something I would like to see. I did see that on the Arc'teryx jackets as well as the Fall Raven one. So those jackets seem to have an extra feature that these ones don't have. In terms of the hood, honestly feels a bit bigger than that one. I feel like I have more room. It sticks out farther around my face. It has a wire going through, again, like the other one that you can kind of adjust and modify on the visor. You also have the cinchers on the inside here as well. That's something that's kind of different from some of the other jackets that I've reviewed in the past. Usually the cinch cords are on the outside. In this case, I guess it's more clean look. When it's zipped up, you don't see them. However, you're gonna have to unzip your jacket if you end up throwing on your hood and you wanna cinch up the hood. You're gonna have to unzip your jacket, which is kind of annoying. But again, for me personally, I don't really use those cinch cords in general, so it doesn't matter to me. That's just something to consider. With all of these jackets, they have the same thing where the cinches are on the inside of the jacket. Let's see, anything else? I don't think there's any other, oh, so actually another feature here. There's a kind of Velcro that you can do up to tighten this hood. Honestly, in my opinion, feels kind of cheap. I would rather have kind of a more elastic drawstring similar to these. That's something you see on most jackets, most down jackets like the Arc'teryx ones. That feels higher quality than the Velcro. The Velcro does feel kind of cheap. So that is something to consider for the price. So this is kind of the fit. Arms are nice and long. I think they're longer than the Mythic jacket. Fits good. Again, I got a medium in this, so it's a lot more fitted. But again, I recommend if you're in between sizes, definitely upsize because you're not gonna really have much room. I don't have much room in here to even put a thin sweater underneath. It is still pretty tight, especially in the body. So if you're in between sizes, upsize or stay true to size if you don't really care about layering underneath. And just finishing up with this one, it doesn't come with the stuff sack either. So that's kind of not a big deal for some people. I don't personally use them. But if you were planning on using this for travel or backpacking and you want to pack it up into a stuff sack, doesn't have that. For me personally, I usually just kind of stuff them into the sleeve and that works just as well. So not a big issue. But for around the same price is something to consider with this model. Okay, so continuing to option number 3, this one is the Neutrino Pro jacket. So these jackets are all very similar and the names are also kind of similar, so it's really hard to remember. And I'm not really sure why they have these 5 models. They are very similar. And again, I'll get to this in the end, but they're just so similar. I'm not sure why they need to offer this many different ones. It's just confusing. So this one's priced at $525, so $100 cheaper than the Positron. I guess more of a budget jacket. It is a bit cheaper than some of the competitors out there at this point. So let's kind of see, how does it stand up in terms of specs. It weighs 585 grams or 20.6 ounces, almost 200 grams lighter than the Positron and about 50 grams or so heavier than the Mythic jacket. The reason for the reduced weight is mainly coming down to the amount of down they actually put in this jacket. So this uses, again, 800 fill power. However, it only has 212 grams of down. So same fill power as the previous jacket, still really high quality, 800 fill power, much better than a lot of other brands out there, which still use 600, 650. 800 is still great, but you're just getting a bit less down in this jacket. Not a big deal depending on what type of warmth you need. But if you're looking for maximum warmth, you probably want a bit more grams of down in the other one compared to this one. It has the same face fabric, the 20D nylon treated with DWR. So water resistant, basically windproof. The only difference really in terms of specs you're getting with this one in comparison to the Positron is going to be whatever it was, like 80 or 90 grams less of down. In terms of features, again, this one does have the Velcro cuffs. They do for some reason feel a bit higher quality. I'm not sure why, but the wrist cuffs just feel a bit nicer. They feel a bit tighter. There's still some elastic kind of on the bottom, whereas on the other one didn't really seem to have that. So it feels a bit higher quality. But you definitely can tell that there's less down, especially in the arms. It also feels a bit tighter in terms of fit, especially around my torso. In terms of pockets, same 2 hand pockets, fleece lined as well, which is obviously really nice. No chest pocket on the outside, so something you're kind of sacrificing there. But you do have 1 chest pocket on the interior here, on the inside of the down. Great for keeping your phone warm. So yeah, basically it looks like what you're sacrificing is 1 exterior pocket on the front and a bit less down. In terms of the hood, feels good, feels like a nice size. Feels much bigger than, again, that first orange one I talked about. Fits nicely, supposedly helmet compatible. I don't know if this would fit over a helmet, but apparently it does. Again, we've got the 2 cinches on the inside here, which is great. And again, you have the same Velcro here, so if you want to kind of tighten up that hood for whatever reason, if you have a smaller head than me, you can kind of do up that hood more. 2 cinch adjusters on the bottom here as well. I'll kind of put this on here to show you how it fits. 2-way zipper, fits a bit tighter than the Positron. Not sure why that is. Got this in a size medium as well, but kind of show you, do a little 360. I might do a comparison as well at the end of the fits of all of them, just so you can kind of see them back to back or side by side how they fit. Yeah, overall a nice jacket. Again, you're paying a bit less, so you're just getting a couple less features and it's not gonna be as warm. Okay, so next up we have the Electron Pro jacket. Right away putting this on, it's significantly tighter than all the other jackets I've tried on so far. The arms are extremely tight. Doing it up feels tight. This one, the Electron, I definitely recommend upsizing. The shoulders are very tight, feels restrictive. Noticeable difference in fit compared to the previous 3 jackets I've talked about. In terms of weight, this is gonna be 523 grams or 18.5 ounces. So now that's actually lighter than all the other 3 jackets we've talked about. Let's see where that weight difference is coming from. It has 190 grams of 800 fill power down. So again, you still have that same high quality down, but now you're actually reducing another 20 grams from the Neutrino that we just talked about. So again, as we get down kind of the scale, we are getting some more features compared to that first one. Again, that's kind of a different class almost than the other 4. And then as we get down the list here, we're kind of reducing the amount of down that we're actually getting in the jacket. And in terms of the face fabric, exact same, the 20D nylon treated with DWR. So same as basically every other jacket in the lineup except for the first one. In terms of features, again, we have the 2 front hand pockets. This jacket in general does feel a bit cheaper than the other ones I've tried on. There is no fleece lining on the inside. That's a nice feature to have, so they've kind of cut that out to reduce the price. This one is priced at $450, if I didn't already mention that. So quite a bit cheaper now. We're getting to almost $200 cheaper than the orange one, kind of getting down the line here. Smaller hand pockets for sure. However, I've noticed in here it does come with a packing cube. This is very small, so If this jacket fits in here, that's nice and small, super good. I think if you're camping, you're doing any kind of lightweight backpacking, something like that, I think this might be a great jacket to do. It's very lightweight, somewhat warm if you're dealing with kind of mild winters, fall, spring kind of shoulder season. This might be a great kind of packable jacket to bring in your backpack when you're going off traveling somewhere. And as you can see, this is very small, so the fact that this packs down in here is not going to take up too much room in your bag. In terms of chest pockets, nothing on the outside, but we do have the one pocket on the front here. Again, this is on the inside of the down. Definitely with this jacket, I notice quite a bit less down on the body, so it's not going to be nearly as warm as the other jackets. It's definitely noticeable. No dump pockets. Still has the two-way zipper, so it seems like so far every jacket has the two-way zipper. Cinch cords on the inside of the jacket for the hood. Hood, again, feels about the same. I think it was really only the orange one where I noticed the hood just felt really small. This is like an okay hood. It says it's helmet compatible. I don't agree with that. But you have still the front visor here, which is nice. You can kind of modify and keeps it from kind of falling down on your face. And then the cinch adjusters, they're on the back of the jacket, which is kind of interesting. So the other ones I've reviewed, the cinch adjuster is on the front of the jacket, so it's really easy to kind of grab and cinch in, whereas this one's on the back of the jacket, so I have to reach around. On the hood, we have the Velcro as well if you want to stitch it in. And yeah, this feels much tighter, noticeably tighter. So I would say go up a size if you're going for the Electron, I believe this was. Definitely go up a size even if you're not between sizes. It just feels really tight and restrictive. And then last thing to note, I just noticed no Velcro on here. So, and not really even much kind of elastic give. I'll see if I can kind of show this. You just have these two kind of elastic spots right here that give you a bit of room, but there's really not much give on these sleeves at all in comparison to the orange one, which didn't have the Velcro, but I found the cinching or the elastic on the cuff much more premium and much more stretch, giving you the ability to fit gloves underneath. With this, not much give at all. So in general, this jacket, very tight, fitted for sure, and you're definitely losing some down in comparison to those other jackets. Okay, and then last and probably least is the Glaceon Pro jacket. This one's coming in at $425, so basically $25 less than the Electron that I just reviewed. Right off the bat, I'm noticing there is more room on this one. However, the arms are really short. That one was tight, but it wasn't, in terms of length, the length on the arms was not too bad. But with this one, I do find it's really short. Putting it on as well doesn't feel like great quality. Definitely feels like a cheaper jacket. You can definitely tell going down the line, the quality is definitely getting kind of worse and worse. In terms of weight, so this one comes in at 594 grams, or basically 20.9 ounces. So it's actually heavier than the Electron that we just reviewed, which was 524 grams. And in terms of down, it is 700 fill power down. So this is the only one that doesn't even have the 800. 700 is starting to get into cheaper quality down, and it has 265 grams of down. So it's probably gonna be just as warm as the Electron. However, it's gonna be much heavier just because of the fact that they have lower fill power down, meaning they need to fill the jacket up with more down just to get that same level of warmth. Again, same fabric, the 20D nylon. However, for some reason it does feel a bit cheaper. I guess it is the same, but yeah, just something I seem to notice. Velcro cuffs, standard now at this point, with a bit of elastic on the bottom. Very restrictive. As I'm putting it on, it's not as tight as the Electron, but just doesn't have that same level of movement in the shoulders that the first three had. So in terms of pockets, we've got the two-hand pockets. These do have fleece line pockets, so that's a nice feature that you are getting with these, nice and comfortable. With this red, I am noticing you can see a bit of the black coming through there. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting, but I'm noticing that a bit, not too much, definitely not in comparison to that orange there, but still noticing that a bit. Chest pocket is on the outside of this one. Appears to be kind of inside the down actually, but there's really not much down there. On this jacket, it's not very puffy. Definitely kind of like a thinner jacket, so more for shoulder seasons. I don't think this would be great Once you're getting down much below 0 Celsius, this is gonna start to be not warm enough unless you have a sweater underneath, and at that point you're definitely gonna wanna size up. No interior chest pocket. Cinches, again, same thing on the inside. Hood feels the same. Cinch adjusters on the back of the jacket, and you've got the two-way zipper. Also on all the jackets, it does have a little bit of like kind of fleece on the front here, so when it's done up on your chin, feels more comfortable. So yeah, that's basically the last jacket of the 5. Okay, so now we went through the 5 jackets. Now I'm gonna kind of do a general summary comparison of them and kind of explain which one I think you guys should get depending on your use case. Let's start out with, to make it simple, the Glaceon on the left of me in the red, I just don't recommend it at all. At that price point, what was it, $425, you can definitely get something cheaper that's gonna feel basically the same from either like North Face or Columbia or something, or even from Decathlon, a cheaper brand. At that point, I don't really think that one's worth it. I'm probably just gonna cut it out of the discussion altogether. So yeah, that one, it's heavy, 700 fill power down, it's lower quality. It's definitely an entry-level jacket for someone who doesn't know much about down jackets and just wants to kind of buy something, but it's really not gonna give you much warmth. It's not very packable, and it just feels kind of cheap. In terms of summarizing the prices again, right? So the orange one's at $650. In comparison, the Fall Raven jacket, which is probably the gold standard for me personally, in terms of down jackets, it's my go-to in the winter if I'm not wearing a parka. That one comes in at $675. However, it is much thicker, substantially warmer, definitely not packable, but it is extremely thick and warm. That's kind of, for me personally, the gold standard. I don't use these jackets personally for kind of athletic pursuits or packability. I have smaller jackets I use for that. For these ones, I'm looking more for warmth. So for you, it might be different. But for these, I think generally these are more warmth jackets, and then lightweight jackets are a separate category. And then $25 cheaper, the Positron, we got the $525 for the Neutrino, and then Electron at $450. Pretty small increments, and it's a noticeable difference in terms of quality going from left to right. I can definitely tell just trying on them back to back. The two at the end there, definitely higher quality, and you're definitely getting what you pay for. In comparison, which I just reviewed 2 videos ago, the Arc'teryx Thorium and the Thorium SV. The Thorium comes in at $600, so right around the same as the Positron. So in comparison to that, the Thorium that I reviewed, that has 750 fill power down, so actually lower quality down than almost all of these jackets. These have the 800, and then the last one there, the Mythic, has the 900. So you're definitely getting higher quality down in comparison to the Thorium. In the past, I've seen people review basically saying Rab is the gold standard of down jackets. Actually trying them on and reviewing them, honestly, they feel a bit cheaper than the Arc'teryx jackets. The Arc'teryx jackets, I think, look better, and putting them on, they definitely feel more premium. In terms of warmth, depending on which one you're getting, I think the Positron is gonna be warmer, but it, honestly, with the Velcro, does not feel nearly as high quality as the Thorium jacket. The Mythic, I think, is really in a class of its own in terms of weight to warmth with that 900 fill power down. It's an exceptional jacket, exceptional warmth, but I think for most people, it's probably not the first option I'd recommend unless you want to spend the money on it. I think it's just more of an athletic, a late parka really meant for expeditioning and not so much city use. You're probably gonna rip the jacket if you walk around the woods at all, or you snag something on like your car. You're probably gonna rip that jacket. So I think for most people, probably cut that one out. The Positron, extremely warm, but it's also extremely heavy. It's not super packable, not super light. So I think for most people, you're really going with either the Positron or the Neutrino. The Electron, if you just want something light and packable for travel, go with that one. But for me personally, I would be looking at either the Positron or the Neutrino. If I'm looking for something extremely heavy, bulky, and you want a really warm down winter jacket, I would say go with the Positron. You're looking at 300 grams of 800 fill power down, extremely warm, lots of down, feels high quality, and it's gonna keep you plenty warm. So yeah, overall, if I have to choose one, I would go with the Positron. I recommend that for you guys. If you want a jacket, these go on sale pretty regularly at most retailers out there. Black Friday recently, all of these were at least 20% off. So they go on sale regularly, and definitely check them out when they're on sale. Regular price, I would just kind of wait because they probably go on sale several times throughout the year, not just Black Friday. and you're gonna save yourself a couple $100. In terms of fit, I'll kind of do a side-by-side on the video here. I might not be able to fit all 5 at once, but I'll show you side-by-side how they kind of fit. The Electron definitely felt very tight. We'll see if we can see that on the video, but it was definitely much tighter than the other jackets. Again, I'm 6'1", 185 pounds right now, and I got all these in a size medium, so you can get a real good comparison of how they fit. The one at the end, the Mythic, there was a decent amount of room, but it's meant for layering over top of your climbing gear. So I would say for all of these, size up. Definitely if you're in between sizes, even if you're true to size, I would still recommend sizing up anyways. It just gives you more versatility for fitting a sweater underneath or just a couple thick layers. If you're looking for a warm jacket, but that's very packable, great for traveling, Northern Europe, something like that, and kind of shoulder season, start of winter where it's not so freezing cold, but you're getting down to maybe, you know, -10, -15. You can definitely throw on a sweater with the Positron and it's gonna keep you plenty warm. You can definitely throw on a sweater with the Neutrino, which is the green one in the middle, and that'll keep you plenty warm. And it's definitely lightweight and packable in comparison to the Positron. In terms of the length of the jackets, so the Mythic comes in at 30.1 inches in terms of the mid-back from top to bottom. The Positron comes in at 32.75, which is gonna be the longest. So almost getting to that parka level length, not quite, but you're definitely getting a bit more length, more warmth. You're gonna lose maybe some mobility in your hips, but it's gonna be a bit longer, greater for warmth. And then the Neutrino going back to 30.3 inches, about the same. Electron 31, roughly the same. And then the Glaceon, the cheap one, 29.5 inches. And yeah, that's basically my review of these 5 jackets. If you have any questions about them or other jackets out there, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you have questions specifically about these jackets, or you want some clarification on certain things, feel free to comment. I'll be glad to help you out. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe, as I'll be posting many more jacket reviews in the near future. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.